Rumors have long suggested Apple is actively working on a variety of different automotive projects that could ultimately lead to an Apple Car. In the last episode of Apple Car series video, we discussed the possible positioning and manufacturing options that Apple could take. So far, there has not been any solid confirmation from any public source on Apple's manufacturing partnership. In the most recent media coverage, some people even feel unoptimistic. In this episode, let's discuss the opportunities and challenges that Apple may face in design and development. The entirety of the research falls under the catch-all title Project Titan. The term has been used to describe a number of different elements and technologies, but falls into four broader categories: human-centered design and engineering, battery design and integration, vehicle platform and architecture, as well as autonomous driving. Apple counts design as foundation principle, the starting point of the entire product development process. Groundbreaking, pioneering, enduring. All these words apply to the Apple design. One cannot discuss the success of Apple, the company, as a whole without touching on its design philosophies and sensibilities. They would not have been able to have established a cult following, especially among artists and designers, if they are not able to show something solid and, dare we say, earth-shattering in the field of design. Much of the credit for the Apple design goes to the Apple Industrial Design Group, the company's industrial design arm. If you are wondering who thinks up all those details about the appearance and overall look and feel of Apple products, they are the ones responsible for it. They are also the team in charge with the design of Apple products' user interfaces, packaging, and even major architectural projects. They are basically in charge of anything involving designing. The main challenge of Apple Car design is to combine aerodynamics, aesthetics, and ergonomics principles on one hand, while still meeting type approval regulations on the other hand, which are safety regulations. Designers first translate their ideas into hand-drawn sketches, then into computer-rendered graphics with computer-aided design. The next steps consist in fleshing out their original ideas by displaying them into the real world. To do so, designers carve scale models, usually using a type of clay called industrial plasticine. Eventually, a full-size model is carved to translate the look and feel of what will become the final design. Aside from aesthetics considerations, scale models are used for aerodynamics testing as well. The interior designers tackles the challenge of fitting together all the components of the car while maintaining its aesthetics and comfort. Designers are also in charge of selecting the materials the different parts of the vehicle will be made of: fabric, plastic, metal, as well as the trim package. A trim package is a set of adornment fitted on the car, such as paint patterns, bumpers, wood trims, etc. Apple's battery aspirations could radically reduce the costs while increasing range simultaneously. This could be achieved by using a monocell design that helps concentrate more active material within the battery, breaking up space by eliminating the modules that hold many smaller individual cells in current EV packs, while also reducing size and weight, thus allowing opportunities to enhance range. The new design would rely on lithium iron phosphate LFP chemistry used by Tesla for Chinese market cars, which are less susceptible to overheating rather than traditional lithium-ion batteries, thus potentially allowing them to charge faster and are thus quite safe to use. In 2017, Apple was reported quietly working with Chinese battery manufacturer Contemporary Amperex Technology Limited (CATL) on automotive battery research and development. Two companies have signed a confidentiality agreement to work together on a scheme related to the field of batteries. What remains to be seen is whether Apple will produce a car from scratch, likely through a manufacturing partner, or seek to incorporate their autonomous driving system into an existing model from an established automaker. Either way, sources are buzzing that battery technology will be the project's showstopper. Tesla CEO Elon Musk recently noted that Apple's decision to pursue a monocell battery design is electrochemically possible, as the max voltage will be about 100 times too low. It would then be interesting to see how Apple and its monocell would compete against innovations such as Tesla's structural 4680 battery units, which were developed over years of experience in EV building. In the next 5 to 7 years, as the automotive industry transitions toward electrification but struggles with profitability, Apple unavoidably should consider partnering and collaborating with competitors on dedicated modular EV platforms. As OEMs retool numerous models and platforms for electrification, collaboration across OEMs can reduce the fixed cost burden of R&D, tooling, and plants, and reduce purchase costs for similar parts at a larger scale. Savings of $1,000 per vehicle in the current project can be achieved where two OEMs are co-developing a dedicated EV platform, which could lead to 2 to 3 times the volume spread across a similar fixed cost base. Developing a modular EV platform can be expensive. Volkswagen Group has invested $7 billion in the MEB platform, not only supporting VW, the manufacturer of everything from compact cars to large minivans, but also openly shared with other OEMs like Ford. Using many of the same parts to speed up the crucial economies of scale and shorten the development lead time, VW believes the strategy will enable it to make EVs profitably. The flexible and modular platform provides an economical way to build different kinds of VW electric cars with very little complexity. The wheelbase can be stretched. The track width is varied by making changes to the suspension. Additional length can be added between the pedals and the front axle for premium vehicles. Volkswagen isn't the only company investing in pure electric architecture. There are several other manufacturers that are preparing their own modular EV platforms. Daimler is working on the electric vehicle architecture, or EVA2. Renault Nissan Mitsubishi is developing the CMA, an electric-only flat-floor version of its broader common module family architecture. Toyota is working with Subaru on an EV platform. Jaguar Land Rover will migrate models to its new flexible modular longitudinal architecture starting next year. Hyundai Kia is launching the eGMP platform for EVs that will serve as the base of Hyundai and Kia's global EV future beginning in 2021. The idea of a shared, flexible, and scalable EV platform is even seeing alliances being formed by system specialists and EV manufacturers. For Apple, a new entrant in the automotive business, vehicle platform and architecture know-how can be obtained from an experienced automotive OEM who knows how to design, develop, and validate. In the meantime, initial investment would be lowered and profitability can be improved. Apple's self-driving car system has improved from a few years ago, but it is still lagging the competition. Waymo and Uber have been collecting their data by test driving their cars in different cities. Tesla, on the other hand, has directly collected its data from the hundreds of thousands of cars it has sold to consumers. The advantage of the billions of miles of data that they have access to allow them to train their artificial intelligence networks. In the world of AI, training is king, and for training, having access to copious amounts of data is the single biggest advantage for any company. According to reports, Apple has been testing its robotaxi technology on public roads in California since 2017, but downgraded the effort in 2019. The first version of its test cars, modified Lexus SUVs, used a LiDAR stack made up of off-the-shelf parts, though this has become a more bespoke effort recently. Last year, Apple test cars drove more than 18,800 miles in California with a human driver having to take control every 145 miles. That compares to Waymo, which drove 628,839 miles and needed a human driver to take over every 30,000 miles, and Cruise, which drove 770,000 miles with a disengagement every 28,520 miles. Apple has been working on a driverless vehicle project for several years and has developed on its own most of the necessary software, underlying processors, and artificial intelligence algorithms needed for such a sophisticated system. Recently, Apple is in discussion with multiple suppliers of self-driving car sensors, known as LiDAR, a key milestone toward development of its first passenger vehicle. Apple has yet to settle on preferred supplier for LiDAR, and that it's likely mulling a range of options, including a heavily customized, integrated version of the sensors as it moves toward developing a car design. Unlike other sectors that Apple has conquered, self-driving cars are heavy on artificial intelligence and warrant a different development strategy. The deep learning algorithms used in a self-driving car require huge volumes of training data obtained from driving cars on roads. The plan to launch a consumer-level self-driving car might indicate that Apple will be adopting a strategy that is similar to Tesla, which would be a little bit controversial for a company that takes pride in collecting very little data from customers. With all the information that I have shared in this video, from a design and development point of view, Apple clearly have strong positions in human-centered design and possibly autonomous driving technology, with the exception of lacking accumulated data. Its claim on revolutionary battery technology still needs to be proven with more solid information. And it will definitely be beneficial to Apple if it partners with an experienced automotive OEM on vehicle platform and architecture sharing. Thanks for watching this episode of Apple Car.